And we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Just kidding, don't let your kids watch this shit show. Welcome to the Degenerates Corner, our little corner of the internet where we drink, we smoke, we gamble, and we cuss. Most importantly, gamble. As always, we are presented by the Unwrapped Sports Network. You can follow them on Twitter at Unwrapped Sports and online at www.unwrappedsports.com. Also head over to patreon.com/unwrapped. Check out the Patreon. You get into the Discord for $5 a month, $10 a month. You get even more shit, but the big one, $5 a month. You get into the Discord, you get all the gambling picks.
It's fucking awesome. And what you want to do is you want to take those picks and bring them over to mybookie.ag, the best place to gamble. Man, they got props, they got parlays, they got fucking everything you want to bet on. I remember I was hitting them big with KBO. I was doing great over there with that shit. And if you sign up using our code USN100, you get a 100% deposit bonus. That's right, 100% deposit bonus. MyBookie.ag, folks. Fucking go use it.
100%. You gotta love it. 1 second, I'm doing the tweet thing.
Oh, we're tweeting all over this bitch. I was quick with the fingers today. I was quick. I got in on it right away while you were doing your intro, and I was like, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, I know. I opened up my Twitter so I could do it, and it's like, oh, I already have a retweet. Here we go. All right, this makes it easier. All right, kids.
Nice.
So, first thing, I'm going to start off with the AP rankings this week.
Those don't even matter anymore.
I know they don't matter, but
I mean, they never really matter, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm just curious. How does Cincinnati go from number 2 to number 3 when they haven't lost?
Because they're just really trying to push the anti-Cincinnati bias. I have firmly accepted in my belief that Cincinnati's not making the playoffs. It's just not happening.
They should.
Yeah, they're not going to though.
As it stands right now, they should. I mean, to start off here, I'm gonna find the tweet to make sure I don't screw this up because like 4 through 10, for the ranking wise, I feel is anybody. Like you could take number 10 and put them at number 4 and vice versa. It's just kind of whatever through there. But top 8 is what I listed on Twitter earlier at Garrett from Iowa. Georgia, number 1. I don't think anybody this entire year has argued that one. That's a gimme.
It's got to be. I mean, they're head and shoulders. They're the only team that you can point to that's like, that's the best team.
Yeah, 100%. Cincinnati, number 2, because they're undefeated and they have a quality win over Notre Dame at Notre Dame.
Yeah, I can argue that. You could definitely. How many other undefeated teams are there?
UTSA, or is that right?
Yeah,
UTSA.
I believe they are
22.
the only other undefeated team.
Yeah. So there are 3 undefeated teams. One of them plays lower level competition. I mean,
there are 3 undefeated teams, and only one of them has a win against a top 10 opponent. So
there you go. And that one is not in the top 4 teams in the country. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That is what I'm telling you. That is,
okay.
I'm telling you that exact fact. Because as we know, the college football playoffs did not change in the top 7. The top 7 remained the exact same from last year. Which, I mean, I'm less upset that they remained the same than how they placed them originally. So I'm not going to I won't get double mad at Cincinnati or Alabama being number 2. I'm still just mad.
Yeah, it's just I've been mad since the initial one came out, and I haven't calmed down yet because they haven't fixed it. My number 3 is Oregon. Out of the 1-loss teams, they have the best win.
It's true.
They beat Ohio State. I mean, yeah, 1-loss teams, Oregon has the best win, so they should be number 3.
Yep. I am lockstep there with you because guess what? These rankings, we say it every fucking time. These are not based on who we think would win in a matchup. Solely. I mean, I still think Oregon, like, they've proved it. They could beat Ohio State without their best player, by the way. Oregon was out Kayvon Thibodeau in that game, and they trounced Ohio State. Like, maybe, if they played today on a neutral field, the books would probably have Ohio State favored. But guess the fuck what? They already played that game.
Yeah, they won the head-to-head. They're ahead of them.
God damn it.
They're fucking stupid. Okay, and 4 through 10, and you guys can fight me on this because I think it's just pretty much deadlock. Like the 4th spot, I went at random, and you could talk me out of this, but for 4 through 8, and I think the number 9 and number 10 teams, you could swap around here also. But I went Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, Ohio State, Michigan State, Michigan.
Yeah, you could throw that in kind of however you want. You can use whatever sort of like logic you want, as long as you're consistent. So my most upsetting thing with the playoff committee is they're not consistent. If you're consistent in the way you rank things, then I'm less upset. I'm usually not even upset at all. Like, you could make an argument to put Michigan ahead of Michigan State, but then if you're making that exact same argument, you have to have Ohio State ahead of Oregon. But they don't. They have it flip flopped. Yours at least is consistent.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I don't. And who do I think are the top 4 teams in college football right now? Like, who are the top 4 teams? I would say Georgia and Cincinnati, and then probably Ohio State and Alabama or Oklahoma. Probably, I might put Oklahoma State in above Alabama, but then Alabama would be number 5.
I might still put Oregon there.
Oh,
or Oklahoma State.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Georgia, Alabama, Oregon, and then the 4th spot. It's kind of a toss-up between Ohio State, Alabama, and Oklahoma State for who I think should be in that 4th spot or who's going to end up there at the end of the year. But as the rankings go right now, Oklahoma State does not deserve a top 8 spot. They haven't. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong, and I think they could get there.
I think they deserve a top 8 spot for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, but then it's like I would put them ahead of Michigan State.
I think that in particular will get settled this week when Ohio State and Michigan State play.
Michigan State's going to get the shit kicked out of them, and then they're going to be like number 12, even though they beat Michigan, and Michigan's going to be like number 6.
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense. And the biggest thing for me is, how is Cincinnati not number 2?
Because they play in a G5 conference. That is, they play with the little boys.
They got a better fucking resume than Ohio State does at this point.
That's the only reason, my friend.
I mean, well, I guess Ohio State did get the big win at Penn State this week.
True, but is Penn State better than Notre Dame?
No.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, but I would say they have a better resume than Ohio State, and they definitely have a better resume than fucking Alabama. Like,
Cincinnati's not making it. I've given up hope.
Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, and like Alabama is the one that I keep coming back to because it's the one that pisses me off the most.
They could get another loss. Alabama could very easily lose to Georgia and get knocked out of these playoffs, and then it's just a wild scenario for the top 4.
Because I mean, like, their wins. I mean, they got wins against Fresno State, Colorado State, and Mercer.
Fresno State's a good team.
Oh wait, I'm on the. Oh, holy cow! My Google thing kicked me like way back. Sorry, that's like the wrong year. Okay, so they beat like Mercer, Southern Mississippi.
Don't forget their vaunted rival, New Mexico State.
And New Mexico State. I mean, those 3 games shouldn't count.
No, but to be fair to Alabama, they do play in the SEC West, so they have to play like Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Auburn's usually pretty decent. Arkansas is good this year. Like they have tough games. They play good teams. It's just their out of conference is non-existent.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, and that's just you look. I mean, I guess you can make the argument with Cincinnati being a being a G5 that their conference schedule is nowhere near as strong. But I mean, they're doing everything they can. They're playing everybody they can, and they're beating everybody.
Yeah, the issue with Cincinnati is, like, since they don't have the name recognition that a Clemson or an Alabama has, where the playoff committee is just in love with them, they have to like steamroll all of their opponents. They don't get the benefit of the doubt like a Notre Dame would or any of these other teams.
Yeah, and that's absolutely ridiculous. What is going on with Notre Dame? Like, I snuck them in at number 4 because outside of Cincinnati, who I think should be number 2, they haven't lost.
They're good, but not great. Like Notre
Yeah.
Dame is just, they play really good all around football. Their offense is solid. Their defense is pretty good. And it's also is a year of like their marquee matchups, like against UNC, North Carolina, against USC. Those are supposed to be big, good games, and both those teams are down this year.
Yeah. Well, and what do you do if Notre Dame ends the season 11-1?
I mean, it depends what happens to everyone else, but they don't play
Yeah.
a conference championship game, so you leave them out.
I would say depending on what happens with everybody else, yes.
Yes. So like if Notre Dame is 11-1 and Cincinnati is 12-0, or sorry, Notre Dame would have to 11-1. Cincinnati's 12-0, and they win their conference championship. Cincinnati's ahead of them, obviously. If Ohio State wins out, they're like basically if every conference team wins out, they're ahead of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Even if like Wake Forest, if Wake Forest wins out, they're ahead of Notre Dame.
Oh yeah, they definitely should be.
Yeah.
But I don't think I think Wake Forest needs help at this point.
They do, but so they'll get, if they win this week, that's, even though Clemson's down, they're only a 7-win team this year so far. If Wake Forest wins against them, that's still like Clemson still has that name that people recognize.
Yeah.
So it's like if they beat Clemson, all of a sudden Wake Forest is elevated to this other level where you put them on the same name. And if Michigan State loses, which I think everyone thinks, I think Michigan State might cover the spread. It's like 19.5, but they're going to lose this game, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
The Wake Forest is going to move up just based off of that. And
well, I'm saying they're going to need help to get into the top 4. Like I think they could win out, including the conference championship, and still not make the playoff.
They very well could, because you could have a situation where Georgia wins out and beats Alabama in the conference championship, and then Oregon wins out, Oregon makes it in. Ohio State wins out, they're in. Cincinnati wins out, they're in. Maybe then Wake Forest, if they win out. But then you have Oklahoma State sitting there.
Yeah, so
one Power 5 champion is probably getting left out if everyone wins out.
Yeah, and I like Oklahoma State over Wake Forest.
I do too, just because the Big 12 is a better conference.
Yeah, so
and they would have to.
That's tough for Wake Forest. I mean, they're probably having
they're
having the best season they've had in what?
Ever. This is the first time in like the AP coaches or college football playoff poll that Wake Forest has been ranked in the top 10. This is the first year.
Yeah. That does not surprise me. But yeah, Wake Forest is not a team that you think of when you think good football. So
Coach of the year, David Clawson.
Yep. Yeah. No, what I think, barring any like huge surprises, I think Cincinnati should win out. Georgia should win out. So that gives you Georgia and Cincinnati.
Yeah, I don't know about Cincinnati. If they keep playing like this, like I could definitely see SMU or Houston
keep playing up though. They're playing the level of competition.
That is the thing that they do, is they're so good at getting up for these big games. But like if they're not 100% locked in, a team like Houston can easily get them.
Yeah. They could. I don't know. Cincinnati's pushing for the playoff hard. And I think they know if they stumble even a little bit, I mean, they're outside. Cincinnati takes a loss, they're outside the top 10.
Oh, yeah. The good news for Cincinnati is now Houston, if they win out, they're going to be probably ranked within the top 20.
Yeah.
So they'll get probably another shot at a ranked win, which Alabama has one. Alabama has 2 ranked wins right now in the college football playoff poll. They have a chance for a third if they beat Arkansas this week, and then that's it.
Yeah, and I don't think Alabama's going to beat Georgia.
I don't either. I mean, they will be the best team Georgia has faced easily. Maybe they could do it. I don't think so, but
I don't
maybe.
even think they're going to be the best team Georgia has faced.
I think so. Georgia hasn't really faced, like, up until Alabama. I think it's Arkansas or like Tennessee's offense.
Well, that's what I was saying. They faced they just beat the shit out of a red hot Arkansas team.
To be fair, that Arkansas team was riddled with injuries. Especially their quarterback was like very injured that game. But like Georgia hasn't really faced too many great opponents. They're just dominating everybody.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Clemson, which is not as big of a deal anymore. Arkansas, blah. My biggest thing, like, they haven't beat anybody great, but they're beating the shit out of good teams.
Yes. That's like Georgia is beating the fuck out of everybody. But
I mean,
they're like the SEC East is not that great of a division.
well, yeah, Arkansas that just took down A&M in College Station, and they beat them 37-0.
Yeah.
Kicked the shit out of Auburn 34-10. Kicked the shit out of a very hot Kentucky team 30-13. Shit stomped Florida 34-7, a team that Alabama barely got out of there with the win on. I mean, held Tennessee to 17 points, which I think, and put up 41. Obviously, the 17 is the more impressive there, but yeah, they haven't played anybody great, but they are just dominating.
They are dominating these teams.
Yeah, so I still think Georgia wins the SEC, goes in as the number 1 seed.
I think so too.
I like Cincinnati to win out. Should be the number 2 seed, but they're probably going to be number 5.
Yeah, probably.
And then Ohio State to win out, as much as it pains me to say that. Harbaugh can't beat Ohio State.
I'm still calling it every week. I'm going to fucking repeat it. I've been doing it since the beginning of the season, since like August. Michigan will beat Ohio State this year.
They will not.
They will. I'm calling them my shot. I've been calling it all year. Michigan beats Ohio State and somehow still does not make the Big Ten championship game.
I was really impressed with Michigan winning at Penn State this week.
That was a good win. That was a good win for Harbaugh. It's a tough place. That's a tough place to fucking win.
Yeah, and that's the type of game that Harbaugh hasn't won in the past.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was fairly impressive. I like Ohio State and Oregon to both win out and win the conferences.
I don't know if I like Oregon to win out. I think
who's going to beat Oregon?
I think this week, Utah.
7-3 Utah.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. But, I mean, if you're looking at Georgia, Oregon, and Ohio State, and assuming Cincinnati's undefeated, who do you put in the 4th spot?
So Georgia, Oregon, Ohio State, and Cincinnati win out. Does Oklahoma State win out?
Say they do. Do they jump Cincinnati?
Then probably, according to the playoff committee, yeah. But then who would be the number 4 still? Because, like, you'd have Georgia, Oregon, Ohio State.
And Oklahoma State.
It'd be Oklahoma State. Yeah, it'd be them. If Oklahoma State wins out and wins the Big 12, yeah, they're in.
Don't like it.
I hate it, but that's what's going to happen. Oklahoma State could lose, though. Like a bunch of these teams, like Wake Forest could lose, Oklahoma State could lose. Michigan State, and Ohio State all play each other, so that'll work itself out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see, and like even if Wake Forest wins out, I think they still maybe between the two of them, they might put Cincinnati in just because Wake Forest is like the smallest of small markets.
I am personally just pulling for Wisconsin to get upset.
Yes.
So Iowa can go play Ohio State.
There's still a scenario where Purdue wins the Big Ten West.
Oh, there's a scenario where Minnesota wins. There's a scenario where Purdue wins. I
think it's a lot harder for Minnesota after their most recent loss.
Yeah. I was killing championship dreams. That's what they do. They never win championships, but they kill championship dreams.
There was like 3 weeks ago before Nebraska got into the meat of their Big Ten West schedule, where there was a scenario where like Wisconsin, Iowa, Purdue, Minnesota, Nebraska could all win the West.
Yeah, I think there's still 4 teams that are legitimately in play for it.
I think the main ones are Wisconsin's obviously the favorite.
Yeah.
Iowa, Purdue. Those are like your big 3, and then Minnesota's right behind them.
Yeah,
then Nebraska and Illinois are just and like Northwestern are just sitting on their fucking dicks doing nothing.
Yeah, I mean, Iowa, Purdue, and Minnesota all need help to
Yes,
win
they
it
need
because
they
they
need
need somebody to beat
responsibility.
Wisconsin.
Hey, root for the Huskers this week.
I like them. I like them.
I like them to cover. I don't like them to win. Just like every week.
Hey, I got my cool little sheet here, and it says Nebraska +9 at Wisconsin.
Yep, all day, every day.
All right, that's all right. Oh, yeah. Nebraska covers. That's what they do. I mean, they aren't winning any games, but they are covering spreads left and right.
Hey, good teams win.
It doesn't make any sense.
Good.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to ask you last week. How do you feel about old Frosty coming back?
You know what? With the restructured contract, ask me at the end of the season. As of now, I'm kind of like all right on like on it, but this is the way we're going. He's cleaned house on offense on the whole staff.
Yep.
I wonder who we're going to bring in. At the end of the season, though, I can guarantee you, like come end of January, I will be 100% locked in, ready for 2022. We're going to win the fucking national championship.
Okay. Oh,
the prediction.
Just real slight deal. If you're just a word of advice, if you're a Illinois fan in the greater Chicago area where it's heavily populated and they have lots of churches, you should be going to church every single day and praying for the speedy recovery of Spencer Petras.
Do you think if he's healthy, he starts?
That's what they're saying. That's what Ferentz said during the game last week. I hope not. I mean, Padilla has not been great by any means,
but neither is
Petras, he's better than Spencer.
So, as an Iowa fan, what is your take on Brian Ferentz? By the way,
I like him. I'm not. He's really good at making individual players good. I'm still like, I want to see him with another quarterback before. I'm still kind of out on him. Not out, like as in I don't believe in him. I'm still like really undecided on him as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, how do you feel about I mean, it's a huge rumor of Kirk grooming him to be the head coach.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I don't know what I don't know where you got that was a rumor.
No, it's
that's just basically known fact in the state of Iowa.
How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it at this point in time. I would like to ideally see Kirk there for like another 3 years.
Yeah,
maybe even 5.
I can see it.
Just to see what because he has like, especially this season and last season, he wasn't that great as an offensive coordinator. But then I like think back and like, especially the Wisconsin game, I can't put that game on him. He was there. They were running good plays. Spencer just can't make a big play to save his fucking life.
It's true. It's
like I was talking to what was that last weekend? No, 2 weekends ago. I was out in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I had my Iowa shirt on. A guy came, random guy. I was at a conference thing. Random guy came up to me and said, "How big an Iowa fan are you?" I said, "I'm pretty big, especially on football." He goes, "What the hell's going on with Spencer?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't understand it." Because the guy, he'll be like 19 of 26, 60% completion rate, 200 yards, and a touchdown or 2. I mean, his stat line always looks good at the end of the game. So if you're looking at the stat line, you're like, well, the quarterback's not the problem. But if you watch the actual game, all his incompletions are on 3rd down. Like, they're at the 35 and they need another 1st down so they can get across the 50 and make something happen. And it's a 3rd and 5 and he can't make the fucking play.
Dude,
every time.
Fucking tell me about it. If you just go by stats, Adrian Martinez is a fucking savant. You watch him and like he'll make plays, but when it comes to clutch time, it's like him, like the whole team, but him specifically, they have the anti-clutch gene. Where at the worst opportune time is when you choose to fuck up.
Yeah, and that's just I don't understand it with Spencer because he'll make beautiful throws. Him and Laporta, man, on 66% of the downs, they're a great hookup. And
Those other
he'll throw
33%,
shit.
dude.
He'll throw shit into windows to Laporta that I couldn't tell were there. And you like watch the replay, and you still can't figure out how he got that pass in there. And then it will be a 3rd and 4, and Laporta will run a slant, and he'll miss it by 1.5 yards. And it's like, dude, I've seen you make that throw 6 times this game. This game.
Gene. It's the anti-clutch.
And on 3rd and 6, when you need a first down, you miss him by 1.5 yards. It's incredibly frustrating to watch because I don't have hate for the guy. I like him. He's a solid quarterback. When he went out against Northwestern, every single time Padilla I'm not even sure how to say his name. I hate
it's
weird
Padilla,
names.
but I like that you're saying Padilla.
I like that better. Every single time Padilla came off the field, Petrus was over there with his clipboard, giving him tips, talking him through stuff, being a good teammate. By all accounts, he's a great guy, really good locker room guy and everything. But, I mean, you have to – when it's 3rd and 6 and you need a first down, you have to make the play.
You got to make them.
And that's the most frustrating part about it. So, yeah, I don't know. I would much rather see Padilla in there this week and for the rest of the season, honestly. But we'll see what happens. The one gripe I have with Ferentz, and I've had it for years, and it's a good thing, but he is very loyal to his players, which is generally a good thing.
He's loyal to a fault.
But sometimes it goes a little far, and I think that's kind of what's going on here. I think somebody needs to just give him the old Gibbs slap and be like, start your other quarterback. This isn't working because, yeah, I mean, we had more penalties than yards at halftime of the Wisconsin game. Not penalty yardage, penalties.
That was a rough one.
I mean, you can't do that. And it comes back to the same thing. They know Petrus he's very erratic on the deep throws, so they aren't scared of him going deep. So they put 8 guys in the box, sometimes 9. And I don't care how good our running backs are, you cannot succeed running when you're blocking 6 guys versus 9.
It's true.
I mean, if you give us 6 versus 7, we can probably do it because we have the best center in the fucking country, and he'll block 2 guys on every running play. But 6 versus 9, I mean, that guy can't block 4 guys a play.
Yeah,
that's
6'9",
that's a little too much.
Not great for blocking, great for sex.
Yes, so that's just if you don't have the deep threat, the run game won't work. And I think there's enough film out there on Spencer that teams feel comfortable enough that they'll play for the run because that's probably what I was going to do, and they aren't really that worried about Spencer going over the top.
No, they are not.
All right. So we both have other stuff to do tonight, so let's get into the rest of the picks. Sorry about that sideline, guys.
Oh no, we could bitch about college football and the playoffs all fucking day, but yeah.
We could spend 3 hours. I mean, if we had unlimited time and I had unlimited beer and my wife didn't care, I could probably spend 3 hours on here just bitching about different college football stuff. But circling back to your original question, at this point, I am perfectly okay with Brian Ferentz taking over Kirk's job.
Okay.
Now, if we get a quarterback that is obviously a very, very good, not even like very, very good, not like, Mac Jones or Trevor Lawrence level, because it's Iowa. We aren't going to have those guys. But just a guy that is reliable, completes 70% of his passes, and doesn't fuck up in clutch time, and the offense still isn't succeeding, then I might change my opinion. But from what I've seen so far this year, I like the play calls. I like the game plan. It just seems like we have a quarterback that's not executing it at key times.
That's the best way to put it, in my opinion.
Yep. So, all right. We already talked Nebraska. Next one. I am on a support the troops kick this week. Give me the Air Force money line plus 105 against Nevada. I knew you were going to do that. I wrote that down. I'm like, man,
I know.
Jim is going to give me a look on this one.
No. I don't hate it. I don't hate it because Air Force this year is my favorite service academy, even though they lost outright to Army. This is a tough one. If it was like anything more, like if it was even 2.5, I would be all over Air Force. I think I'm staying away from this game. This one's really hard to call. Nevada has such a good offense, but Air Force does the best thing that you could do against a good offense is keep them off the field.
Yeah,
This is a tough one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I like your take though. I
back in the troops. Give me Air Force. Next up, Boston College at home. Give me that money line, people. Give me that money line. The spread's only 2 points, so just give me the money line. It's at -125. It's not quite a toss-up game.
Give me the 2. This is a fucking huge emotional letdown spot after beating Miami. And I'm all over Boston College ever since they got the boy, Phil Dracovic, back.
I've been on Boston College ever since they came through for me in overtime at Baylor. Or Missouri. Was that Missouri? At Missouri. Sorry. At Missouri. I watch a lot of fucking football, but
tell me about it.
The teams all run together after a little bit. So yeah, I've been running that Boston College thing anytime I like the odds. -125 on the money line. They're slight favorites. It's like -110 for Florida State, -125 for Boston College. Give me Boston College. Give me West Virginia -3 versus Texas. Texas is melting down.
They really are.
I mean, there's rumors that Sark or whatever the fuck his name is being looked at for LSU.
That'd be terrible.
And Lincoln Riley was the other name I saw for LSU. And it's like, why? Lincoln Riley can't beat anybody outside of the Big 12. Why would you want him in the SEC?
I don't know. Lincoln Riley with the talent LSU can get, I would think would be really good because I think he's a really good coach. I don't know why
everybody thinks he's a really good coach, but what has he done?
I don't know why he would leave OU. Is my thing.
Huh. Well, because all he does is kick out Heisman quarterbacks that put up big yardage all year and does not result in a championship.
True, they don't get the national championship, but not a lot of teams have these in recent years.
Well, and it's not even so much that he doesn't get the national championship because, I mean, we've talked before. I don't know if it was us or somebody. I was talking to, it was a guy in a Discord I'm in. He was giving me shit about Iowa not being a successful program because they haven't won a national championship. It's you look at the last 30 fucking years, we have averaged 8.2 wins a season.
Yeah,
that's
national championships are not the barometer to judge whether a program is successful or not. You have to take the program as a whole historically, see where they're at, and then that's how you judge whether a coach is successful. I would say Lincoln Riley is a really fucking good coach, especially when it comes to offense. You don't win 10 games minimum almost every year and be a bad coach.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things. It's who was when Texas got rid of their coach,
Mac Brown, or which one? Tom Herman?
Yeah, Herman. He'd been there 3 years and won 9 games every year.
Yeah.
And they got rid of him. And I'm just kind of wondering because they hired Lincoln Riley to win a national championship. Let's not fuck around, dude. Oklahoma is not Iowa.
No, they hired Lincoln Riley to win. That's Oklahoma's aspirations are winning the national championship, and they haven't. They have not been.
And not only have they not done it, they'll run the Big 12 and then lose by 3 touchdowns every time they get in the playoff.
True, but then also you look at who they've played in the playoffs, and they've played the national champion every time.
Well, except for that but if you're a national championship caliber program, you don't lose by 3 fucking touchdowns.
That is true, but that national champion also generally has tended to go into the championship game and dominate. When they played LSU in the semifinals, LSU owned them, and then LSU turned around and just shit stomped Clemson. When they played Clemson, Clemson shit stomped them, and then turn around and shit stomped Alabama. You just get these weird fucking teams that are just head and shoulders above everyone else, apparently. That's another my last bit on the fucking playoffs is people will bitch if Cincinnati gets in and be like, I don't want to see a blowout. Well, guess what? We already fucking see it every year.
Oh, 100%. And that's
God damn it.
And also, by the way, just because people came at me about this last year when I said Ohio State shouldn't be in the playoff based on their record up to the postseason, and then Ohio State played well and won the first playoff game, everybody's like, you want to walk your take back? Fuck no. I'm not walking this shit back. I'm calling it as I see it right now with the knowledge I have right now, with what we've seen on the field right now. So if Ohio State wins out and wins the national championship and you want to give me shit because I said they shouldn't be in the top 4 on week 10 or week 12 or whatever, I'm so too much fucking football, man. The NFL is crazy too. But yeah, no, I'm not going to walk that back because as we stand right now, Ohio State has lost the only top tier program they've played against.
Yeah.
So, no, they have not earned themselves a spot in the top 4. And I'm not going to apologize for that take if they end up winning the national championship.
As you shouldn't.
So, there we go. All right. Fucking bad.
I like your West Virginia play, by the way. I like it. I'm probably going to go back to my route of bet Texas to win the first half and then bet West Virginia to win the full game.
I like that play too. Because that seems to be the problem with Texas. They just can't finish out games.
Yeah, the only exception was this last week where they just got shit stomped by Kansas in the first half and then tried to claw their way back in the second half.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? Who's
that
Kansas?
Was amazing. It was amazing.
I didn't know Kansas had a football team. I thought they just had some high school kids show up and play every week.
Kansas's first road win in the Big 12 since 2008.
Doesn't surprise me. They're not good at football. And Texas just completely shit the bed against them. All right, next up. Give me Navy on the money line at plus 160 versus East Carolina.
Ooh, I know you're going to support the troops angle.
You hate the troops. Both my troops picks. You're like, oh,
dude, ECU is an up and coming program. Like they qualified for a bowl this year. They got a lot to play for. They could be.
It's the fucking midshipman. Give me the midshipman at plus 160.
This one I can't get behind. I think ECU wins running away. Not running away, but they cover.
You think they cover?
I think they cover.
I gotta see.
Navy's really down, dude. Navy's really down. It's only a 4-point spread. I think ECU wins by a touchdown.
Give me Navy. All right, we already talked about Nebraska. So last, give me UL Monroe plus 29 versus LSU. I don't know what the fuck Vegas has been watching to give LSU 29 points against anybody that knows what a football is. I think they win this game probably by 2 touchdowns. But 29 points, I hate big spreads to begin with. I just think that's too many.
I can respect that.
No, that's what I got for individual picks. I got a parlay whenever you get done with your individual.
Individual, here's what I'm looking at right now. I'm definitely lockstep with you on the Boston College. I like Iowa State plus 4. I like the Kent State minus 13.5 versus Akron. Here's my troop backing. I'm all over Army minus 37. I'm all over Army minus 37.
I looked at that.
And then I like Charlotte plus 14.5 versus Marshall. I like SMU plus 11.5 versus Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati to win, but I think just over 10 points, this SMU team is good. They're going to get up for this game too, and it's going to be a close game. It's going to be close being around a touchdown.
Yeah, and that's completely reasonable. I looked at that one too, but the only thing that scared me is Cincinnati reads the same papers we do and sees the same talk that we do. I think they might. One of these games, they're just going to come out and they're going to play their starters and they're going to keep the playbook wide open. There's going to be we're up by 2 scores. Let's manage the clock. They are going to go balls out the entire game to make a statement for the committee.
I think so, but I think even if they do, I think SMU can still cover 11.5.
Okay. That was the only thing that scared me about that cover.
I love the Pitt Virginia over 66. I'm pretty sure Bronco is going to do the smart thing and start Brennan Armstrong. That's why they sat him last week in a game that did not matter. This game has a lot of influence because the winner of this game, I believe, is the front runner for the Coastal. So this one matters a lot. And I think it's going to be very, very pointy.
Nice.
I like, let's see. I might dabble on Missouri money line. It's plus 265. It's a juicy one, and I still can't quit this Missouri team. And Florida is falling apart at the seams.
You keep
they lost to South Carolina.
I can't argue any of these picks because these are all games that I looked at, and I found other ones I liked better for my picks.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
But every single pick you've said, I looked at. I think I'll leave that one off and go with this one instead.
Let's see. And obviously, I love Utah. They're the favorites for a reason. I don't know if I like them as favorites, but it's in Utah. Give me Utah. Just like I might sprinkle them in some money line parlays or something like that. I like that. And then obviously, I love Ole Miss minus 36.5 against Vanderbilt. I just love. I'm a sucker for these big spreads.
Well, and Ole Miss is a scoring machine.
They're a scoring machine.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State minus 10.5 versus Texas Tech.
That's another one I looked at, and I just stayed away because I hate big spreads.
Yes, that is fair. Give me Oklahoma State minus 10.5 versus Texas Tech. I think that about does it. I might dabble on Hawaii money line. It's a nice little juicy plus 115. And they're on the island. They're on the island.
I saw that and that they were on the island. And
Colorado State, I do not trust.
Yeah, and like I said before, you have listed outside of Utah, every single pick you said were ones I looked at and just went a different direction for mine.
Also, call me fucking crazy, but speaking of like covering machines, they're really feeling themselves. I might put some money on UNLV plus 10.5 versus San Diego State. San Diego State plays the style of game where they don't cover all the time.
Yeah. Okay, quick question for you before we get into the parlays. How do you feel about Iowa plus 12.5 or minus 12.5? Sorry,
against Illinois
in Kinnick.
It's hard to say with both those teams. They're just going to be taking time off the clock like motherfuckers. Whenever you don't expect the Burtoning, that's when the Burtoning happens. I am staying away from this game. I don't know what the total is. I'm probably going to play the under no matter what.
I can't remember. I was going to look real quick, but I got my parlay up. I think it's over 50 points, and I would definitely.
It is not. It is 38.5. Where I'm.
Oh, holy shit! That is low.
I still might go under, but like 12. That's too much. This Iowa team just doesn't cover. Like I think Iowa's going to win, but I think they win by like at the most. I think they win by 10.
I think that's a fair assessment. I don't touch Iowa games, so I don't like giving out Iowa picks on the show because I don't have any money on them because I refuse to bet Iowa. And
just based on a principle, I am taking Arkansas money line.
Okay.
I got to back my boy, Chase. That one's for Chase.
Okay. Understood. Parlay. I do not have a money line favorite parlay this week.
Ooh, okay. Switched it up.
Well, and the biggest problem was like all the favorites are like negative 400.
Yeah, they're real big.
Not all of them, but there is a lot of like negative 350, negative 450. I mean, you could bet the Alabama money line, you can bet Alabama money line at negative 1450 if you want.
You can bet Iowa money line at minus 520.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of those. So I mixed it up a little bit. Give me Wake Forest plus 170.
Love it.
Give me Boston College. I threw them in the parlay too at minus 125. Give me Massachusetts Army under 56.5.
I like that. I don't think UMass is really going to score at all.
So and Army just eats clock.
Yes.
Minnesota at minus 285, which is higher than I usually try to go on these parlays. But like I said, the odds on the favorites are ridiculous. And give me Kansas State at home minus 115 against a good Baylor team.
Boom. Boom.
I don't know. Kansas State has been growing on me.
They're a good
I'm an
fucking
underdog
team.
guy, and nobody was talking Kansas State at the beginning of the year. And they have come up with some big wins. They have been dominating in Manhattan. Give me Kansas.
I love Chris Kleiman.
Give me
so
Kansas
much.
State at home.
He's such a good fucking coach. I love Kleiman.
Yeah. So there's the parlay. Wake Forest money line, Boston College money line, Minnesota money line, Kansas State money line, and the Massachusetts Army under. And that gives you plus 21.94. So bet 10, win 220.
Sexy. Here's mine. Here's my big spread parlay for the week. Give me Kentucky minus 36 versus New Mexico State. Give me Mississippi Ole Miss minus 36.5 versus Vanderbilt. UCF minus 30.5 versus UConn in civil conflict game. And give me Army minus 37 versus UMass. I think Army probably wins like 40-0.
I could see that.
Gives you plus 1,200. So bet 10, win 120.
Like that.
And then I gotta find my underdog money lines. Where are you at, babies? Come to me. I gotta feel this one out. Oh, you know what? I want to take Iowa State so bad, but I can't trust them. I can't pull the trigger on that one.
They've been a very confusing team.
That they have. Give me Wake. I gotta put Wake in there. Give me. I don't want that one. I almost want to say Colorado beats Washington, but I'm not 100% sure. Give me son of a bitch. I really don't want to touch Nebraska money line.
No, you do not. Not even a little bit.
Give me. I think Virginia could pull the upset against Pitt. So, and that's plus 440. That one's just to like maybe on its own. That's not bad value. God, this is tough. Do I want to do Syracuse? No, I do not. Give me Louisiana Lafayette. Give me Louisiana on the money line. So I got Wake Forest. I got Louisiana. I'm going to count K-State as close enough, even though they're like a 1-point favorite because they're at home. I'm going to count that as underdogs. Give me, where's another one at? There's got to be one more in here that I like. I'm going to roll Oregon State over Arizona State. I'm going to go Hawaii. 5 teams, all underdogs, all on the money line. Oregon State, Kansas State, Hawaii, Louisiana, and Wake Forest. It pays out plus 6,500. So you bet 10, win 650.
I'm going to tail that one. I like that one. So I will be hopping on that one as well.
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right. NFL football, because I know we both have stuff going on at 9 o'clock, so we got to kind of keep the NFL deal a little short. I have one same game parlay in for tomorrow night. Give me Mac Jones over 255 and the New England money line.
Bringing back the favorite. I love that. I love it.
So I don't, the Falcons are weird. The Patriots have been, I think the players, I don't think they're a Super Bowl team by any means, but they definitely have a chance to be in the playoff deal. I was on For the Love of the Game with Robert Swan last night talking this, and the wild card picture on both sides of the NFL right now is just
it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, New England could win out and not make a wild card spot.
I would love that. I mean, I don't want them to win out. I would just love them to not make a wild card spot. I want, with how much hype Patriots fans have been blasting this team with, let New England miss the playoffs again, please.
I'd be all for that. I'm not a Patriots guy, but I have respect for Bill Belichick. I think the players are buying into the system, and they're starting to gel. Give me them over Atlanta with Mac Jones going over 250.
So fucking much. I hate them.
All right. And next up, we're going to do the 12-game parlay.
I love it. Give it to me, please.
Yeah. Give me New England.
Gross, but okay.
Yeah, I mean it's gross, but it's the play.
Yeah.
Cleveland, Detroit makes me want to puke.
That game, any game with the Lions is just going to be a bad game.
I kind of want to bet the Lions money line because they are not a 0-win team.
Well, they're a tie team.
Well, I meant talent-wise. Like, they're a team that's better than their record.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just they're going to get one. I'm half tempted just to, like, bet the money line the rest of the year on the Lions until they win. Because they're going to win. I mean, they aren't that
I don't
bad.
know, man. I
They
don't
aren't
know.
that bad of a team.
There's
but-
something up with them that they're allergic to winning this year.
Give me the Bills over the Colts in Buffalo.
I like it.
Give me San Francisco coming off the big win against the Rams over Jacksonville. I don't know what's going on in Jacksonville. I didn't expect them to like necessarily be a playoff team the first year of Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer, but I expect them to be better than they have been.
Yeah, they're real bad, but they're getting better. They're getting better each week.
The Jets-Dolphins game makes me want to puke. If it was in Miami, I'd feel a lot better about it.
It's still a gross game. I might even take the Jets there.
Give me Carolina over the Washington football team strictly because Carolina's at home.
Yep.
That's the deciding factor there. Hopefully it's MVPJ versus Tyler Heineke. That's what I want to see.
That'd be awesome. I think PJ gets some play. They seem to be using Cam way more in the red zone.
Yeah, I like
Cam's
that.
Probably the starter though.
Yeah, I like PJ being the starter and Cam getting like a significant amount of snaps, but all situational.
I like it, but I also kind of want PJ just to get selective starts because I want him to keep his undefeated record as a starter.
Did he come when he lost to Brady? Did he come in off injury?
Yes.
Okay.
PJ Walker as a starter.
Oh, sorry. I went backwards. I was thinking Heineke.
Yes. No, PJ Walker as a professional football player has never lost a game as a starter. 5-0 in the XFL, 2-0 in the NFL.
That's just a fun stat. That's
such a fun stat.
Give me the Saints over the Eagles. I'm not sure why the Saints are dogs in this game.
Because the Eagles are looking way better, and I guess Trevor Siemian, and also the Saints are like the most flip-floppy team on the fucking planet. 1 week they play really well, the other week they play really bad.
But I mean, Siemian had 300 fucking yards last week.
I think the Saints are going to be like they're good.
I think they're going to be just fine.
I see value in the Saints for sure.
I'm going to stay away from the Ravens-Bears game because I'm not confident enough in the Bears to bet them to win, but this is a classic Bears win scenario.
Yeah.
Like, nobody thinks they're going to be in this game. And the NFL owes them one. So, give me the Titans over the Texans.
Okay.
Give me Green Bay over Minnesota. Give me the Raiders over Cincinnati at home. Carr had a terrible game last week, so he's going to throw for like 500 yards and 18 TDs this week. That's just how Carr works.
Have you seen this insane stat, by the way, that teams that didn't cover the spread the week before are like almost unbeaten the next week against the spread? Against teams that did?
That's... What?
Yeah, so I think
say that again a little bit slower. You gotta dumb it down for me.
So I think through the whole season, teams that didn't cover the spread the week before, if they're playing a team that did cover the spread the week before, they're like 46 and like 18 against the spread. If you're betting that trend. Last week they went 7-0.
That's holy cow. I'm gonna have to look into that.
It's insane.
Say that. Yeah, that's
insane.
just nuts. I want to stay away from Cardinals Seattle just because I'm not sure if Kyler's going to be back or 100%. I'm running out of games here. This is going to get a little sketchy here. Give me the Chiefs at home over Dallas. Give me the Bucks over the Giants. I'm at 10, so I got to pick 2 more out of the ones I've skipped.
Take the Dolphins. The Jets are unless if Josh Johnson plays, then never mind.
I'm taking the Jets at home.
Dude,
the Dolphins have it's the same theory that I had with it's the same theory I had with Derek Carr. Except it's the whole entire Miami team. They played well. They beat somebody they shouldn't have last week, so they're going to play terrible this week.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like,
I don't knock it. I won't knock that.
And give me Cleveland over Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean, Cleveland is another really confusing team, but I'm still probably going to put a small bet on the Detroit money line just because it's plus 410, and I am 100% convinced that they are going to win a game.
It won't be this one, but yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, so that gives you plus 20,190. So if you bet 10, it pays out just over $2,000.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So I'll run down one quick all money line. Patriots, Bills, Niners, Panthers, Saints, Titans, Packers, Raiders, Chiefs, Bucks, Jets, Browns.
Good shit. I like it. I'm going to be tailing that one. But also, I've got my little underdog money line parlay for the NFL. It's not quite as juicy as college football. I only got 3 teams that I really liked underdogs. I got the Vikings, the Saints, and the Cowboys. I think those are all 3 teams that could very easily win their games. And give them to me. It's only, what is it? Where did I see my odds? It is plus 870. So bet 10 to win 87.
Nice. That's a good little play. I don't really like the Vikings one there strictly because they won last week.
They did, but it's also not prime time, and I'm just going to be backing Kirk Cousins in not primetime games.
Yeah, it is a new game, so that plays into Cousins. So the other thing that makes me a little nervous about betting against the Packers this year, I think Aaron Rodgers started the season off pissed, has just gotten more pissed as the season's gone on.
Yeah, he's definitely gotten way more pissy. But also, I guess it doesn't really matter. They still have A.J. Dillon, but probably no Aaron Jones. It doesn't really matter.
One of my boys breaking down the tape, he had a thing on TikTok. It was what's an opinion that will get you murdered? And he said NFL running backs are interchangeable, and outside of a very, very select few, don't make a difference in the offense. I don't think he's wrong.
He's not wrong. Like, they are interchangeable, but there are a few that would, I assume, like, they don't change that the team will probably win. They just change how much a team will win by.
Yeah, and I mean,
the Titans are the best example of that.
Yeah, outside of Derrick Henry, which, I mean, you could even make that argument because the Titans are winning without him. But, I mean, what running back in the NFL do you put at game changer level?
None. I put none.
I mean,
I put them at spread changer levels, maybe.
Yeah, but
I'll change the spread.
I still think Derrick Henry is up there, like, especially over the course of a season. But not... Yeah, I can't really think of anybody else because, I mean, you even look at, like, the teams that have really good quarterbacks. I mean, running backs. You got the Browns. I mean, Hunt and Chubb.
You could maybe argue that Nick Chubb is a very crucial part of that offense.
Well, yeah, but you could probably stick A.J. Dillon in there and he'd do the same thing.
True. It is true.
Or, just pick a guy, pick another running back.
I'm on that opinion that running backs generally don't matter.
So
it sucks because I love running backs, but
is what it is. But tell the people where to find you, Jim. We gotta get out of here.
They'll know where to find me at XFL Jim on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. I got a lot in the works. Arby's just came out with their new curly fry vodka, so I'm going to be sampling that ASAP. Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for everything XFL Jim. You can find me over on Better Than Vegas, making picks on the daily every Saturday and Sunday morning on Campus Profits and fantasy foreplay, respectively, I'm everywhere.
You should 100% drive to Iowa for the vodka thing. It's tempting. I'm not gonna like try to lock you into it or anything, but you have to admit you're thinking about it.
I'm thinking about it. It's tempting, but man, my schedule is fucked.
I know. All right, you can find me on the Twitter and the TikToks at Garrett from Iowa. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Deuces.